Hi everyone, it's Katie Rose from Attached Families again. I want to talk a little bit today about how I want to save families. I know I talk all the time and the subject is pretty much the same. Reactive attachment disorder, developmental trauma disorder, foster care, adoption, the fact that developmental trauma disorder isn't part of the DSM yet, the fact that these children exhibit severe behaviors, the fact that families are being destroyed. I mean, you've heard it all from me, basically, and here I am to talk about it again today. Without knowledge of reactive attachment disorder, I truly believe in my heart that governmental agencies built originally for the best interest of children are destroying children and families across this nation and around the world. I don't say that lightly. I say all the time that attached families is very pro foster care and very pro adoption, and we are. I want every single child that needs a home to have one. I want every single child that needs to be safe to be safe. I want every single child who is taken away from their parents and their parents work their plan to be returned to their parents. And I want every single child that for whatever reason cannot be reunified with their parents to be adopted. I want to point out some truths because I feel like these agencies prey on your heartstrings when they say things like, little Billy's been in 13 foster homes in 3 years. And little Sally she wants to be a teacher or a vet, and she's looking for her forever home, and she's been in 12 foster homes in 5 years, and they're leaving out the part that little Billy and little Sally, it's not the foster family's fault. They have not been moved that many times because foster parents are awful. They're being moved that many times because of their behaviors and the fact that foster families were not trained properly and the fact that the children are not given proper treatment. I'm not gonna cry. And when little Billy or little Sally get adopted and the behaviors are so severe and the post-adoption supports that are promised aren't really there, and the proper treatments are not affordable, even though the contract says that whatever medical and mental health needs that they have will be covered, they're not covered. I could show you $60,000 worth of bills just from last year alone, but nobody cares about that. They question why they can't retain foster parents after one placement. Where foster families are at an all-time low in this country. They're in recruiting mode. They wonder why adoptions are failing and being disrupted, why kids are being put back in the system. The facts are all there. Parents don't want to give up their children. Parents don't want to disrupt their adoptions. Parents are breaking and nobody's helping. Parents are begging for help. They're seeing specialist after specialist until they go bankrupt. They're losing their careers, they're losing their jobs, they're losing their homes, all for the sake of adopting a child with reactive attachment disorder or developmental trauma disorder. I don't say this to scare anybody out of fostering and adopting, because I'm so pro foster care and adoption. It's what brought me my sons, and my sons are amazing. I love them. But I have so many families who are terrified to come out in the public eye and admit that their child suffers from RAD or DTD. I have families that are terrified of CPS, DCS, DSS, you name it, whatever your county calls it there, they're terrified. And they have every right to be terrified, because these organizations are corrupt. There's nothing else I can say. I am the face of attached families. I am the face of more than 4,000 families telling you the truth. These agencies are corrupt. They lie. They falsify documents. They change diagnoses. They do whatever they can to make their case, and let me tell you, it's a big money-making business. People want to say people go into foster care for money, but the foster parents get paid. It's laughable. Now, what the organizations that are supposed to have the best interest of the children at heart get is sad. It's the bonuses they get for placing children, the bonuses they get for permanency placements. Our children, as a whole, all have different types of behaviors, but those behaviors range from severe aggression, self-harm, suicidal ideation, issues with bowel movements, and by issues I don't mean they can't go to the bathroom. I mean that they refuse to use the toilet, so they will urinate and spread feces all over the house. They will break almost anything they can get their hands on. They will steal, they will lie, they will manipulate. To the outside world, they are charming, sweet, amazing, beautiful, cute, adorable children. And behind closed doors, they are completely different beings. And they like to lie. They like to create chaos. They are known to make false allegations. It's not a hidden secret. DCS, DHHS, DSS, CPS, they know this, yet they still don't investigate properly. They refuse to talk to the adoptive parents or the foster parents and get the real story. They refuse to look at the thousands of pages of documentation that the parents keep. They refuse to look at video footage, pictures. They refuse to look at the documentation from doctors and specialists, and they take the kids. That's it. They take the kids away, and then they have you arrested. Are you willing to give up your entire family and your freedom all because you wanted to foster or adopt a child, because you thought that helping a child in need was the right thing to do? Because that's what's on the line. And again, I don't say any of this to stop people from fostering and adopting. I still want to foster and adopt. I say this because I want Americans to know that this needs to change. We must speak up for these children. We must speak up for these families. Because if we don't, then we are just as culpable as these organizations that refuse to acknowledge the truth are. Please do your research. Reporters are making families into monsters. They are not monsters. Our children aren't monsters. They're kids whose brains didn't develop properly and they need actual help. My families are desperate. I am desperate. I want to change the entire system from top to bottom, but I am one person and I can't do it. And 99% of the time, I feel like my mic is off. I am talking and shouting to the winds and no one hears me. I am begging you, do some research. See what reactive attachment disorder is capable of doing to a family. Get the book A to Z, Therapeutic Parenting. There's a whole encyclopedia in there that will tell you all the different types of behaviors that can exhibit from a child with developmental trauma disorder and reactive attachment disorder. They're real. There's hundreds of books. There's Reactive Attachment Disorder, The Essential Guide for Parents by Carrie Williams. That's a fantastic, easy read to know more about what it's like to raise these children. Stop arresting my families. Stop writing these fictitious shock and awe. These stupid news articles that have no investigation whatsoever. Makes me angry. Stop it. Do some investigation. Do some research. If you're a judge, learn about it. Don't just listen to DSS. If you're a social worker, care about the family. I know so many social workers. I know all the people that I know who are social workers got into it for the right reason and are good people. Do more research. Learn about this. Stop destroying families. Stop ruining children's lives. Give them a chance. I am begging you. Katie Rose, I love you all. Love to my family.